Hi, everybody.
Welcome to the Barrel Roll post-credit show.
Oh, I have to take the spoiler tag off.
Take the spoiler tag off. Well, there's still going to be spoilers.
Well, let's say a spoiler really quick before we take it off. I got nothing.
Too late.
Detective
It's gone.
Pikachu.
It's gone. No more spoilers ever.
No more spoilers. Welcome to the Barrel News post-credit show, where we talk about movies and games and experiences we've done over the past week.
Yeah.
My name's Tony.
I'm Nick.
I'm Brian.
Welcome to the show, guys.
Yeah.
Welcome to the big show.
There's nothing like super spoilery. Like Endgame, you can't talk about without getting spoilery.
Also, they've lifted the spoiler ban.
And the spoiler ban's off, so.
So you should have seen it by now. And also, their social media didn't get the note because they spoiled it like the Monday after the movie came out.
I know. I like how some people aren't. I like how some people are sort of reading into things and not reading into stuff.
My coworker accidentally, because we work with a lot of clients.
Sure.
And some of them, have PDD. They have developmental disabilities.
Yeah.
So they don't really quite read the rooms quite well. And so he was telling them guys, I haven't seen Avengers yet. I'm going to see it tonight or tomorrow or something like that. And then I guess one of his clients just straight up just told him the ending.
Sweet.
Oh.
And he called me up after. And he's like, I have myself to blame. I'm like, yeah, you kind of do.
Yeah.
You kind of do.
I worked with kids. They were more than ready to spoil things. Thankfully, none of them had seen it by the time I saw it. So.
At this point, it's like it's a job safety thing for us. We have to see it before. It's not because we want to.
There was a teacher somewhere that
to.
posted a sign outside of their thing. I have not seen Endgame yet. You want to spoil it? You'll be writing me a 30-page essay. And it's like, oh.
Oh, that's like the reverse thing where the teacher was putting on an ad lib thing on boards like that.
I saw that one too.
In the first 30 minutes, Thanos blah 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 blah
yeah,
blah
there was blanks he was filling in to
every time they were not
too loud
behaving or something.
He was going to spoil a little bit more of Endgame.
It's like Hangman.
Yeah.
It's cool now, though, because the Russo brothers are talking about all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, and then all of the actors are finally releasing all the videos and stuff.
All of their pieces.
From the set. It's the one... Who did the first one? Was it Chris Pratt?
Yes.
Where he was filming that one scene at the end where everyone was there. It's like, man, there's Tom, there's Robert, there's Chris Evans.
Yeah.
And then someone's like... Or Sean, yes, Sean. He's like, that's illegal, right? And then the video cuts off.
Yeah, there's a few of them that filmed that scene, but it's funny because Sebastian Stan was on doing an interview, and he's like, "Well, there's one scene in the movie, and he's like, we call it the wedding." And he's like, "So everybody should know." He's like, "We all got really dressed up.
Yeah.
We were all there."
Mm-hmm.
And then, but that was before the ban got lifted. So he's still he's like, we it's a scene we call it the wedding. We're all dressed up, big thing. And then
the bride and groom weren't there.
Tom Holland did his he was doing his press stuff the other day, and he goes, "Well, I get my script and it says the wedding," and he's like, "So I show up expecting a wedding because he's like, my script says nothing other than wedding,
Yes,
stand. Show up,
stand."
So he gets there and he's like, "That was the most somber wedding I'd ever been to," and and then he sits there and he and this was after the ban had been lifted, so again, I guess it's spoilers, but he's like, I get to this wedding and he's like, why isn't Tony standing with us? Because Robert Downey Jr. was there.
Oh, yeah.
He was there to kind of be with everybody, because everybody was there.
Yeah.
So it was
why was he not filming with us?
But it was a party day. But yeah, that he's sitting there and he's like, why isn't Robert, where's Robert standing? Why isn't, but they called it the wedding pretty much to stop certain people, if they were going to talk about it, you're talking about the wedding scene.
Yeah, and people would be
and that way you're going to throw people off because they're like, there's a wedding, someone's getting married.
That's not wrong. Someone did get married.
So that's the piece. Is you're sitting there going, who gets married? So now you're speculating on that instead of saying
who dies.
instead of saying the funerals.
This is a weird wedding. There was no bride or groom.
Yeah. But the Russo brothers had said we'd called it the wedding for that specific reason, but IGN sitting there going, Tom Holland thought he was going to a wedding, and it's like, IGN, come on. This is why I don't... super clickbaity title, and that drives me nuts.
That's why I haven't read them in months.
I read their headlines, and we're I'm out. And then I will find the news somewhere else.
Yeah, I don't even give them the pleasure of going to their site.
Gizmodo and all the other, there's enough other sites where I can find news.
Anything part of Hawker Media, I'm super, not into.
Whenever they use the titles like that, I'm
nope.
Tom Holland thought he was going to a wedding, but you could just say a bunch of people thought they were going to a wedding.
Clickbait.
Well, no, but legitimately most of the actors showed up that day going wedding time. Oh, This little wreath goes out into the water, and it's like, oh, this is a shit ass wedding.
I secretly think they all knew what it was at that point.
At that point, they must have known.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, they all know.
But showing up that day, they might not have, like, because all their call sheet said was the wedding.
You think they know who
Was getting married?
or who? Yeah.
I don't know.
Because Robert Downey Jr. was there, probably.
No, he wasn't.
Well, he
was
was
there,
there.
He
but
was
not,
there.
not. He was on set.
Yeah, he was not
but do you think
dressed
he
up.
was like dressed up just to throw some people off?
I don't think so. He was like in pajama pants.
Yeah, he just showed up to be with everybody.
He was in sweatpants with like a coffee cup from Starbucks. He's like, "What's up?"
And Anthony Mackie got spoiled about the end of the show
Yeah.
from Chris Evans.
Yeah.
Because Chris Evans had the script that said what was going to happen, and Anthony Mackie hadn't gotten that scene yet. So
Yeah.
he was
was
watching a
super
football
hot.
game with Chris, and Chris is like, "Oh my God, did you read the latest?" And Anthony's like, "I haven't gotten anything." And he's like, "I'll be right back." And he goes and gets the script and hands it to him, and then they actually like talked about it and like kind of.
I mean that scene was incredibly emotional.
Anthony Mackie said he's like, we filmed, we did
kinda
the
have to-
thing.
you almost
They
have
said
to.
cut. He's like, I cried, Evans cried, the Russos cried. He's like, everybody just like, and then we cleaned ourselves up and did it again.
Did it again.
Yeah, you kind of have to know that scene going ahead. You can't just
Yeah.
like blind like here, have a shield. Wait, why?
Yeah. What? For
For what?
Yeah.
He's looking over her just like what?
But they had talked about it previously and all of that stuff, so
I'm
was,
sure that-
it
I'm
was
sure that
very
discussion-
much because they're really good friends.
Well, also, I'm sure that discussion has come up in the past where it's like, so you know what happens to Falcon, right? To,
But it
like,
could also
happen to
the
Bucky.
Winter Soldier.
But I think, yeah, exactly. Like, I'm sure they've had the Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan have been approached by people. It's like, so you know what happens to your character in the comics, right?
They
So-
knew because there's a
so-
40-minute interview with Mackie on IMDb, and that's pretty much it's like, well, you knew this was coming. He goes, but I didn't because like Evans does such a good job of it,
Yeah.
and he's like, Sebastian and I kind of knew that if he ever decided to leave, that one of us may get
Bigger,
it,
yeah.
and he's like, but. He's like, when I got into acting, I wanted to be in a Western and I wanted to be a superhero. So, and he's like, now I get to be like one of the superheroes.
You get to be the one.
So this, and the IMDb guy just wouldn't drive. He's like, well, what do you think it's gonna be like? You know what's it gonna be like now that you're like Cap? And he goes, I don't know.
Whatever they want to do.
And he's like, it's partially up to me, but he's like, until I get the costume. He's like,
I get the costume, we get the script.
get the
He's like,
script.
I don't know if I've got wings still. I don't know if I'm just.
Oh, that's one
like,
thing we missed. Marvel and Disney like dropped all the movie schedules until 2020.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
We
Oh,
forgot
yeah.
that one.
Yes.
Like every.
It's long.
You guys want Avatar?
Nice.
You guys want Avatar movies?
Because you're
Get
not
one.
you're not getting them anyways, but they scheduled them.
Holy cow.
One every year. Till 2027. Yeah.
But yeah, this IMDb guy asked about 12 times about like where he's gonna take Falcon, and he's like, I don't. He's like, I don't know. Like,
Can't
we
I
haven't.
just have a break right now?
Well, no, but he's like, we haven't met with anybody to discuss
Yeah, I don't
any of
think
that. He's like,
they've
I've
had
got
any
the
discussion
show,
Yes.
and he's like, and that's again all I know. He's like, Sebastian and I get to do a show together, and he's like, which is gonna be a blast.
Yes.
And he's like, because they cut out some good stuff from Civil War, when they're in the like Beetle.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Awesome.
He's like, there's one where he's like, I get out and Sebastian's supposed to follow me out, and I kicked the door closed and locked it. So Sebastian's like sitting there, and like Mackie's doing his piece, and they're like, "Where's Sebastian?" And it just like, if you look back, it's just him in the car trying to like open the door. And he's like, "We do that kind of stuff to each other
All
All
the
the
time.
it's real life. It's just
Yeah.
real life. They just film us in real life.
He's like,
That's
by the
awesome.
time we're done, he's like, we're all stupidly good friends, and we'll go watch football together and do all of this stuff together, and da 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 da. And he's like, as long as we can be together, and he's like,
Yeah.
and these movies have afforded us to
Yeah.
all be together. So, but yeah, I'm interested to see where that one goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, all the press stuff now that they can actually talk
Yeah.
is so much better.
Yeah, because the there was so little information.
You got
even,
funny- you
even
got-
at the red carpet, like you.
You got
you could
stupid
see all
little
the
stories. Yeah,
You could see the actors like I can't.
Can't say anything.
Just watch the film.
yeah, they're all trying to come up with other funny anecdotes to like
Yeah.
be talking about. Chris Pratt was getting interviewed by someone, and they're like, "Well, this is like Star-Lord's fault, and we're a little pissed." And he goes, "A lot of people are," but he's like, "You have to think, if not for Star-Lord, you wouldn't be getting a second like Avengers Endgame movie because they would have ended the movie in 45 minutes." So
Yeah. If I hit the head,
And-
you wouldn't have had the second movie.
and so he's like, as he's talking about it, Scarlett Johansson comes up because they kind of all just kept dive bombing into each other's
yes.
stuff.
Yeah.
And they were trying to reach the microphone across Chris Pratt, who is now a fairly broad-shouldered dude.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the woman's trying, and Chris Pratt describes it, and he's like, "So you've been traveling a lot lately, going here and there and everywhere, press tours, da 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 da." And so she starts talking. She's like, "I just want this to be over so I can talk about the movie because I'm so afraid at this point I'm gonna say something
And I'll get in trouble.
Yeah, exactly.
and I'll get in trouble." Like
I,
she's like,
I don't want to be like Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And and then she grabs it and she's like, "So what's the press tour been like for you? Da 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 da. Like, how do you decompress after da da?" And he goes, "Well, I didn't have to press tour because of the events of Infinity War, so I've been fishing." And doing absolutely nothing.
I'm sure they filmed that entire ending sequence during the Infinity War.
Yeah,
filmings.
they did the Back to the Future Part 2 and Part 3 thing where they just
they
got
filmed-
everybody and filmed.
Yeah.
Yeah, the main stuff that they had to film was the time heist.
Yeah.
Stuff.
But they filmed all of it other than reshoots, and the one reshoot that almost didn't happen was Iron Man saying the line at the end of
I read
Endgame.
that.
Oh,
read that
really?
interview where he was really adamant about not saying that line.
Yeah.
The Russos tried to convince him, and then they got one of his executive producer friends to.
I don't know what
convince him.
yeah. So
They
what ended
brought-
up
they-
happening was they were editing the film, and when he does that part, he's just supposed to smile at him, give him that knowing smile, you just
yeah.
screwed up, buddy, and boom. And they were editing it, and this guy who's edited 75% of the Marvel movies, they're all looking at it going, something missing. He goes, "I am Iron Man. Let's just," and they're like, "Oh no."
We have to shoot that now.
So they're like, we have to call Robert Downey
back.
Jr. back, going we know you've kind of hung up the character, and you've said your goodbyes, but
that was a reshoot. Yes.
yes, that was a reshoot. That was one of the last reshoots, I guess.
It was a good reshoot, though.
Yeah.
It was a needed
And
reshoot.
he really wasn't interested in it for a long time apparently.
Doing the reshoot thing.
Yeah, no, that line. He didn't want to do that line.
You didn't want to come back.
Yeah.
And again, I can understand that. You've
You're done.
you've shed that skin. You've said
Yeah.
goodbye to everybody that needs saying goodbye to.
Yeah.
You've had your parties. You've done all of the pieces. Just
your secret underground parties that you can't tell anyone you've
Yeah.
been to.
yeah. So, and it's not like he doesn't like the Avengers stuff, because
I wonder if
all
they-
of the press stuff he's been having a blast at again.
I wonder if they would have, if he said no to that, they would have just snagged the dialogue from Iron Man 1 and re-edited it.
It's tough though without seeing his mouth.
Science.
Or he would have his mask
Disney,
on, or, I
Disney
don't know.
magic.
Yeah, it's a tough one. But either way, we got a good line in because of it. So that's what I've mostly been watching, I guess, is Avengers
Avengers stuff online.
stuff online. Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I'm waiting for them all on Netflix. I'm gonna binge them on Netflix.
Yep, that's what I'm doing too.
'Cause
All
at
right.
this point.
The Cinco de Mayo heist.
Yes.
So Terry has his lieutenant's exam coming, and to keep his mind off of it,
They have
the heist, because the heist at Halloween got canceled due to a gas leak.
Of course they did.
And I just laughed because I'm like, I wonder if they swiped that from Community, the gas leak here. So because of a gas leak, the Halloween heist got canceled and postponed until a later date. And to take Terry's mind off of it,
They
they decide that they're going to do the heist. And this year it's Scully's medical bracelet that he wears all the time.
Oh god,
They have to get it off Scully.
that's not hard.
So,
That can't be that hard.
well, but they have to beat the other team to getting it off of Scully. So,
Still probably not that hard.
so it was a heist show. It was a heist episode. Definitely a
was
full-on
it
heist episode.
that or time heist?
No, it was just a heist episode.
Just a heist
The other bonus was Captain Holt's husband got
Oh.
involved this year.
Oh,
cool.
nice.
So that was a fun addition because we missed Gina. So to kind of fill in her space was
They put Kevin in.
Kevin.
I'm glad because they're not really doing good play stuff right now, right? They're not filming for it.
Even if they were, it's
Yeah, I'm not
that's
sure.
an easy one to flip flop between. So, but yeah, he got to be in the heist episode. So
Nice.
it's a solid heist episode. I'm really happy where this season's gone, and I think we're getting another season, aren't we? They
Oh yeah,
announced
7.
it,
Yeah, they announced 7.
Yeah.
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 So
Lots of shows officially coming back. Good place.
Is it still going to Netflix even though they switched?
yes,
Yes, this.
Yes, still?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
in Canada.
Yeah.
Awesome.
A little bit of weird news, I guess. Fresh Off the Boat got renewed too.
Hmm.
And Constance Wu, who plays the mom,
Yeah.
went on a giant Twitter tirade about how she's super pissed off that the show got renewed and swearing all over the place.
Why?
And someone sent her a tweet "Congrats on your show getting renewed. That's great news." And she's like, "No, it's not."
Why is it not great news?
People are speculating at the fact that after Crazy Rich Asians, she thinks that she should be starring in more movies, and by doing the show, she's kind of stuck in scheduling wise. So
Meh.
we might see her character
Well,
disappear this season, or
Well, I mean, they are planning another one of those movies, right? So
Yeah. and they're not going to do it without her.
yeah, you kind of.
They need her in the movie, but that's the piece. Is like,
Or maybe they don't.
or
Maybe they don't.
Maybe they don't.
well, if your schedule doesn't work out, I guess we'll
Yeah.
just find someone else.
Or just not write your character role, and then you can come
Yeah.
back for the third one.
Yeah, come on in for the we'll complete the trilogy. You
Yeah,
can come back
yeah,
and
okay. It's be some weird hangover.
Yeah.
thing.
But that was so that was a weird one where I'm like, oh, because most actors are always happy when their shows get renewed.
Yeah.
Mostly. Yeah.
So it's weird.
Like I think the last meltdown was Katherine Heigl's.
Yeah.
I'm still kind of upset that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. came back, but if they have a proper end to it, then I mean, the last one seemed like a really good end, but
Now he's a Terminator. What's the
he's
problem?
Terminator. Clark Gregg is now the Terminator.
Terminator.
So is Constance Wu the main character?
Yeah, she's
In
the
Crazy
wife.
Rich Asians, yeah.
She's not the non Crazy Rich Asians.
No, in Crazy Rich
In
Asians, she's
Fresh-
the main lady. In Fresh Off the Boat,
she's the
mom.
wife.
Oh,
She's
okay.
the stereotypical Asian wife.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay.
All your grades have to be good. Why aren't you doing this? Da, 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 da. And apparently the guy who wrote the book, so like the real Eddie Wong,
Mhm.
left the show after season 1.
Oh.
Like he no longer wanted to be involved because they made it too much of like a family comedy where everything was like perfect
I've
family.
never
He's-
read Fresh Off the Boat.
I've never read his book, but apparently I was reading it after her whole thing. I was reading some stuff, and apparently he left the show because he's like, I had really stereotypical Asian parents, and life was not easy.
No. it
And he's like,
wasn't.
so this show is not a good description of what I went through. Where like
It's kind of the Big Bang Effect.
it really is, but it's a TV comedy sitcom.
Mhm.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like
You're not gonna get a serious show out of that.
no, so
Like That's why I have such a hard time watching Big Bang Theory, is because they're taking all those
They
like
got
nerd
this-
jokes and making it kind of mainstream.
just
Yeah.
watered it down. Well,
They
they've
water-
diluted it down to the point of
Yeah, Big Bang is just so weird now.
Yeah. It's not the same.
half the episode is just them screaming bazinga at each other and
Yeah.
Or yelling at nerd jokes, and the girls going like, "Huh?"
right.
And just talking about the difference between the nerdy boys and the girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
So yeah, I was just kind of like, oh, isn't that interesting? Because that would have been a
very different show.
very different
different
show.
show.
Because the mom in that show is very much,
The traditional.
for the most part, and I mean, she's grown as a character now into these new seasons where,
Well, I don't watch the show.
but
so,
she's become much more like Americanized sort of
Oh,
thing.
okay.
But because she's growing and her kids are growing and all of it, like she's
Mhm.
becoming less and less lenient. And then every once in a while it pops back in, and it's like And Dad was like, the dad in the show was always he was the dreamer anyways, so he was always like, oh, let them do what they want to do, sort of thing. And I'm like,
But I love that actor though.
He's so good,
He's so
but-
funny.
he's really funny, but I feel like, from what I've read with the real Eddie Wong, is that his dad ran a restaurant.
Yep.
It was very like, this is our business, this is what we do, this is da da da, like that was him. It wasn't this cute, funny, goofy dad. It was very much like,
The business is our family.
we have family business, you run business, like, nah.
You stay home Friday night.
Yeah, like, so
Oh.
it's a shame that someone doesn't want to be on a sitcom anymore, or a show after, as it gets
Yeah.
renewed. So, because it's not like you can replace.
Do you think
her.
she's maybe getting afraid of getting stereotyped? Maybe.
I don't know, because
I
after
don't
Crazy
know.
Rich Asians, it's like, oh, she can do other stuff. Cool,
To be
good
fair,
for her.
like my first experience with that actress was with Fresh Off the Boat.
Me too.
So, like seeing her in Crazy Rich Asians, I was like, oh, I guess you are just an actor.
Like, yeah, she, but that's my
guess
piece.
you
It's
are.
like, I'm like, okay, she can act. So that was my piece. I'm like, you did Crazy Rich Asians. It proves you can act. I'm feeling it's a scheduling thing where she probably had offers to do some stuff and then had to back out because
Of
she
the
now
show.
has to film the show.
Oh.
Because that stops people from doing all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
It's a constant paycheck, but you're never gonna.
Rise
I'm
up.
sure Jason Segel's happy that How I Met Your Mother's done.
Sure, like that's what I mean. Like, there's a lot of people where, yeah, they can coast on those shows. Like the guy who played Ted.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
I think
He was
coast-
probably
he coasted-
sad. Yeah,
He coasted too hard.
but that's what I mean. Like, it's like that kind of character, that kind of actor is very happy that that show lasts so long because
He's
What are you
you
going to do?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're not Allison Hannigan of American
You're not
Pie.
Neil Patrick Harris.
You're not Neil Patrick Harris, and you're not Jason Segel.
Yeah.
Colby Smulders made it out
Barely.
kind of magically.
Yeah. She has Joss Whedon to thank for that.
Right. Like, you sit there going like, okay.
Okay.
Because Allison Hannigan was big before that show.
Yeah.
She was the draw into that show.
Yeah.
Her and Neil Patrick Harris
Yeah.
when that show first came out.
Yeah.
Then Jason Segel, started doing things halfway through that show to try and be like, okay, when the show ends.
Was I Love You Man before or after How Much Your Mother?
During.
During?
Yeah.
So he...
That's what I mean. Like, he made sure he was doing stuff, like, in the off-season
Yeah.
to make sure he stayed where he was. Neil Patrick Harris is Neil Patrick
He's
Harris.
Neil
so-
Patrick Harris.
He can do
is-
anything. He hosts the Tonys once and he's good.
Yeah.
Oh, he hosted it how many times?
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, he's Neil Patrick Harris, so he's fine. But, yeah, you get those actors. Well, even the Supernatural guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know they can't do better than that.
No.
I'm hoping they do at some
I
point.
mean, the only other thing Jensen Ackles does is voice for like DC.
Yeah.
And they can do voice work, and I get that.
But it's
Jared
not the
Padalecki
same
did
as-
House of Wax
We don't talk about that.
with Paris Hilton.
We don't talk about that.
What a horror film that was.
The episode where Paris Hilton was in Supernatural was better than that.
Yeah. Like, that's what I mean. He moved from Gilmore Girls to
To
that.
Supernatural, yeah.
And
Was he in Gilmore Girls?
Yeah,
Yeah, he
the
was-
newer-
he was
a
the-
big role.
he was
No,
the main-
but like, was he back for Gilmore Girls?
No, he didn't come back when it.
They refilmed.
Yeah, I think he did. He was in
Did
the
he?
Yeah, he was in the grocery store buying groceries. Like, he was in a scene.
That's
he
what I was
was?
saying. That's
Yeah,
what I
for
was
the
saying.
revival. He was in one episode.
In
They
the
let him.
Netflix show? Yeah.
They let him leave Vancouver for a day.
Oh,
Legit, he got like, he's like, I want to be part of this, and they're like, of course you do. Like,
yeah.
bye.
I had to.
We'll shoot something else.
Something
we'll shoot,
else,
We'll
yeah.
shoot off like B-roll while you go.
I had to. I had a discussion about Supernatural and it being canceled, and people are like, "Oh, we're kind of glad the show's kind of done, but it's gonna leave a giant hole."
Oh,
in the
CW is screwed.
Yeah, it's gonna leave a giant hole in not just the CW but in Vancouver,
Yeah.
because between that show getting canceled, between
Arrow's
Arrow
gone.
getting canceled, who knows where Flash is gonna go? The only CW show that's consistently getting good reviews and ratings is Legends of Tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like if you're, I'm sorry, Flash is probably on the next. Like it's gonna
Yeah.
get,
Oh,
it's gonna
yeah.
get chopped soon.
What about Riverdale?
I want that one to be before all of that. But yeah, like between like Supernatural leaving, it's gonna be a huge gap of like
Unless they have
employment.
other plans already for another show that's coming up for their program.
Oh, the new Supernatural show.
There's a new Supernatural show.
Or I mean, if CW has another show lined up, for
We don't know because
themselves,
it's that's a huge void to fill.
It is. It
like
is.
that's a 15-year-old show.
Yeah.
They'll fill it with what's another Archie comic that they could fill it in with?
Casper.
Yeah, Casper the Friendly Ghost.
Except he's not actually a friendly ghost. He's actually Casper, the ghost.
The ghost.
He's actually just call it Ghost.
He has surprise sex with everybody.
Oh wait, they had that movie. No.
And then we'll have the Titans, and they're gonna say, "Fuck Catwoman."
Yeah, Casper in the vein of Riverdale.
No.
Nope. That show threw me off. Episode 1, Archie's having sex in the back of a car. And
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Sabrina's doing great though.
but Sabrina,
That's a different
the Chilling
breed, though.
Adventures of
Yeah, it's
the
different.
Chilling Adventures of Sabrina is based on a comic line called The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina.
Yeah.
It's a different breed too.
It's its own piece.
It actually has.
For starters, it's all on Netflix, so it's not really even
That's true.
like on the
It's
CW.
connected.
No, it's not. They've
The actor showed up in the Riverdale Letterman jacket.
that's not connected.
Yeah, man.
It's not connected.
They're
Don't ruin
connected.
it. Don't ruin that
They're
show.
connected.
Do not
Just
even-
wait until season 4 of Sabrina when Archie shows up with a gun to save the day,
And they kill him.
and maybe Harvey shoots him. We don't know.
I'm okay with that.
There's a comic book where Sabrina and Casper crossed over.
Well, duh.
Oh my god, I would love that as a
Like,
one,
can you imagine
one episode.
Casper just has a
one
cameo
episode-
in a
one
Sabrina?
episode
Yeah,
in
just
Sabrina.
one episode.
I would take that.
It's Sabrina.
I'd be cool with that.
Just one where Casper
It's
comes
like
in.
they're doing the thing for this ghost for this.
They
name
do a
of this
monster
ghost.
of the week
Yeah,
thing.
Yeah.
And then like at the end, it's like, "What's your name, Casper?" And he disappears.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, and then
It's like,
everyone just like drops the ball. It's like,
Yeah.
ah, they did it.
I'd be down with that. I'd be cool with that.
Just a one episode thing.
Just one, yeah.
I think he'd be better on Riverdale, but, you know,
No.
save Casper for Riverdale.
Nope. Save Casper from Riverdale. from Riverdale.
From
you mean.
Riverdale.
What's the piece I like? Whenever I do watch pieces of Riverdale, I'm like, there's a decent show here. If it didn't have the Archie overlay, I'd actually possibly watch it.
But then there is. And it's just
That's
not.
my issue.
But yeah,
Either way.
Supernatural leaving. It's hopefully they. Hopefully something gets picked up because that's a
Yeah.
lot of people who just lost their jobs, or will be losing their jobs.
They'll.
And I get it. It's just
There's a
sucks.
lot. That industry's big there. They'll find
It is
gigs.
big.
Yeah.
They do a lot of movies there, but it's just something that's always so consistent. They can be.
Yep, it's that consistent job over and over again.
What's it? Anyways,
I watched Star Wars Episode 2 in my run through all the Star Wars movies.
did you watch it on May 4th?
No, I finished Episode 1 on May 4th.
Oh, it's a disappointing.
I watched Duel of the Fates on
That was
May
the
4th.
only good scene in that
Pod
movie.
racing, yo. Pod racing.
Oh, second best scene.
Have you guys seen the YouTube video where someone redoes the fight scene between Obi and Darth?
Yeah, it was a fan edit, right?
Yeah, it was so good.
I've seen the thumbnails for it. I haven't clicked it.
I kind of dig it, and then I've read some of the stuff
So what
about
is it like a full edit or is it like a
They took
like
the
this-
scene
the-
and then they edited so you can't see Obi because he's got
Okay.
the hood up,
Yeah.
and they actually like have a full-on
Okay.
lightsaber duel, mostly from third person behind Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
Because you don't actually get to see his face because obviously it's a stand-in.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it looks like a newer lightsaber battle, but the
like
whole
they're doing the
Yeah.
lightsaber
yeah
rings.
they're doing all
Yeah.
of
They're
the
throwing the lightsabers.
It's not just.
yeah.
Dead.
And everybody's like, yeah, but Obi was like at that point older, and he was trying to distract.
Yeah,
Darth
he wasn't
Vader,
doing it to.
it-
He knew he wasn't gonna win.
He wasn't trying to win. Was
No.
the piece like?
I don't know. You look at Yoda though.
I know.
The argument is you look at Yoda.
Where he's bouncing off the walls.
I am the Senate.
He's a different species, but
I am the Senate.
so yeah, that's I don't know. Either way, episode 2, I'm halfway through. I'm like watching these in weird.
That's a
Weird
hard one to
movie.
just get through. That's a hard one to get through.
It's not too bad.
Clone like war.
I'm getting
stuff
to
in
the
that-
actual Clone Wars.
Yeah.
stuff.
The Clone War stuff is like the best stuff. Like the clone stuff is arguably the best part of that movie.
But that's where
and
I-
the
The
stuff with
politi-
Obi-Wan.
The political stuff is actually an interesting watch, although it's just bad. Everything else on top of it is just bad.
I hate sand. It's rough, of course, and it gets everywhere.
Wow.
I killed them. I killed all of them, even the women and the children.
Wasn't that the
Love
third
me.
one?
Nope.
Did you did it in the second one? No, I thought you did it in the third one. Oh no, I'm talking about a different scene where he kills all of them.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
never
that's the
mind.
younglings. He
Yeah.
killed the Tusken
Yes.
Raiders in the
Yes, the
second
Tusken
one
Raiders.
Yeah.
Yes.
because they killed his mom.
Yeah.
So
You
he
killed
goes-
my mom.
He goes, yeah. So he goes ape shit and just starts killing everything. And then
Like a Jedi would.
And then he tells Padme, and she's all like, "I still love you. Have my babies." Wait, other way around. That's the worst. Like honestly, if you cut, and even someone described Hayden Christensen's acting, and it's like it makes
He was
sense.
young though.
He was,
really
but he was young, and it's like if you watch, he's been raised from the age of whatever to, like newborn to whatever as a slave. So take that into account. Then he's been raised by a bunch of old dudes,
Yeah.
and pretty much taken into a cult from age to where he's told not to feel anything.
Yeah.
Then he finally meets this girl again that he had feelings for when he was, 10. He kind of had that little crush on, and all of a
Yeah.
sudden he sees her again, and Lord knows she hasn't changed because it's only been 2
Age.
years. So
Science.
yeah,
Because
and
science. She should be way older.
but he sees her going like, oh my god, like she's still smoking.
I want to.
Because even Obi-Wan goes like, check your feelings, boy. Like
No.
like because Obi-Wan can sense them at that point, and it's like, well, yeah, because again.
He had a messed up life.
He did. So you
Yeah,
sit
that's
there
something.
going like, so if you actually watch the acting, there's bits and pieces where Hayden Christensen actually does a decent job of what he's supposed to do because
Yeah. It's.
it just doesn't come across well because the directing was crap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most of that movie was.
Like that's the piece is George Lucas screwed that film
That movie's
Yes.
real bad.
because the writing not horrible. The acting, when you actually
The
dig,
plot is better than the writing.
the plot's great.
Yes. Yeah.
Plot's great. You have, sure, even all the government stuff.
That's actually pretty interesting.
Actually
It is.
fairly interesting.
Once you get the whole gist of it.
When you
too.
know what the Palpatine is like aiming
Yeah.
for, and you know like how he's playing every little
He's playing the
piece,
giant game of chess.
He
Yeah.
is, and no matter who wins, he wins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like legitimately, even if the Jedi's would have won,
He's
he's
still-
still coming out on top because now he rules everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're just sitting there going like, he wins no matter what. This is going on. That's going on. Hayden Christensen actually does a fairly good job.
I think he did better in 3. So honestly,
He did in 3. I think
He smashed 3 out of
Yeah.
the water.
So, and yeah, I quit right before we're getting to the actual Clone War.
That's the good part.
Which is, yeah, again, that's how I kind of keep watching these, is like I paused before the pod race, so
Yeah.
when I went back, I opened on the pod race. So I was like, okay, I can pod race, and then I can get myself to them going back to Naboo, but then I know the Duel of the Fates is coming, so it's like I can get myself to all of the...
I would just save myself the trouble and just skip to that part.
all the next parts.
Reminds me of, like,
Let's try a spin. It's an easy trick. It's a good trick.
Nope.
Reminds me of like racing games where you have a checkpoint to like keep you going.
Yeah.
It's like
No,
okay,
I'm just gonna Hail Hydra this and go to the good parts.
It's that gummy bear system of studying where you like put a gummy bear every 20 lines or something. So every time you read 20 lines,
you get a gummy bear.
Yeah.
Gummy
You
bear.
guys did that?
I didn't actually read the books. So
I was just gonna say,
I just ate the gummy bears,
wow.
but I read that one online, and I'm like, if I read my books, that would probably be a good thing to do.
I still did that in university.
I wouldn't like to do that. That's a Pavlovianly training your brain. I don't like that.
I did that in university still, where I was like, I gotta finish, this set of homework,
Right.
and I can have a bag of chips, and then finish this set of homework,
And a bag of chips. And then to a different issue.
Brian hears a bag of chips open, and he just starts reading whatever's in front of him. Like, I'm gonna get it done.
I finished this page. Why am I salivating?
Yeah.
Why is
all
my
over
shirt
yours.
wet?
I played more of the Sword of Ditto. I'm getting into my games. Sword of Ditto, Mormo's Curse. That's that
Time.
roguelite type game. I beat Mormo.
So
And-
the game's over now.
No. So you beat it, and
Mormo's the witch, right?
Mormo's a witch.
Yeah, the
And
witch.
so you beat Mormo, and the god person comes out, and they go, "Hey, you deserve a good rest. We'll take the sword. You can take the points that you've earned, and you can send some of your items to the next sword." So then 100 years later, it changes the world. So all of a sudden, like, all the buildings are actually like better built. You can see where some of them had been broken before. But they've been like, the town actually looks like a town. Things are green. It's kind of pretty. There's life.
There's life.
Like, all of that stuff's going on, and then Mormo comes back, and
Wreaking havoc again.
well, no, she has to power herself up. So
Oh.
you go, the guy comes, the beetle comes to you, and he's like this one mentor
Is
guy.
the beetle like the fairy?
Yeah, essentially he's your fairy. So but he's bigger, and he only pops up when he needs to. So he pops up and he
So
goes
it's
like,
not like, hey,
Hey,
No.
hey!
he pops up and he's like,
Hey, listen.
he's like, you're the new sword. And the intro gets like kind of shorter each time, because he's like, listen, you're the sword. It's kind of complicated. All I need you to do is go pick up the sword in town square.
here's the
So-
sword. I saved you the trouble. Here's the sword.
If you die, you have to get it out of a graveyard.
Oh,
If you beat Mormo, they build a statue to your previous
Yeah.
person
So do you have to
in
get it from
town
the
square.
statue?
No, so it's down like it's
it's
in a pedestal.
Like
You
yeah.
Zelda it, so you pick it up, and all of a sudden you
Yeah.
become the sword. And he's like, okay, Mormo's still weak. Let's go beat her up before she. So you go through her dungeon again really quick, and you get to the end of her, and she goes like, she's like, I was prepared for you to come. And so she casts a spell, and she's like, I've cursed this land. In 5 days, this will happen. So now you only have 5 days to get your stuff together and beat her anchors and go back and beat her up.
At
So,
some point in time, you can probably make that game pretty difficult, right? Because it's like if you keep losing,
if you keep losing, you're screwed.
Yeah,
Because
that-
she levels up every time.
yeah. At some point in time, like if you really suck at the game, you're gonna have to reset it.
You're messing
Yeah,
yourself up.
you're really screwing yourself over. You do get different, so you can pick like between a human to start. You start off as a human. The run through word that I beat, I was a bunny person, and then this one that I started, I'm now a dog or a wolf or something like that.
Looks like a very cute game.
It's a super cute game. It is really well animated,
Yeah.
and that's what really drew me in. Because again, it wasn't that 8-bit.
Yeah.
I'm looking for a new
Old
game
school.
to play, and
This one's
it's not
pretty
Devil
fun.
May Cry, but
This one's pretty fun. So this one was, and I love the fact that I beat her and I was like, yes, like game over. Like I have accomplished this, and it's like, nope, we'll take that sword now, and 100 years is gonna pass, and someone new is gonna
So this
wake up
game
and you
will
get
never
to do
end.
it again. And I feel like there could be an ending, because you do like I'm assuming you can't level up to like level 1,000,
That'd be epic.
but
do it.
Swing, swing. Just
so I don't know
Breathe
how far
on
this
enemies.
goes, but that's kind of the fun part of this is legitimately like, if I win again, what happens? If I lose again, what
what
happens? If
happens?
this happens, what happens? Like
there's consequences.
there's consequences to losing. There's rewards for winning. Like it'll be interesting. NHL 18, I've beaten another team in my playoff run with the Oil Kings, so I think I have the semifinals left and then the finals.
Nice.
Win them.
Then I get to become an NHL player and get drafted by a team that's hopefully not the Calgary Flames
You're gonna get
or the
Toronto.
Toronto Maple Leafs.
I do not.
You're gonna get drafted by the Canucks.
It's not the worst.
Vancouver's not bad.
I can see your vein in that. It's like
It's not the worst.
I don't mind Vancouver.
I don't mind Vancouver.
I do like Winnipeg more than Vancouver.
Yeah, I'll take Winnipeg.
But there's a team in Winnipeg.
Yeah, the Jets.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
See, I don't know anything about hockey still.
Who's getting the team now?
Who's getting one team?
Seattle.
Seattle.
Oh,
I was
See, I know. See, I know things.
In my head,
Everyone's-
I'm sitting there, San
everyone's-
Francisco. I'm like, it's not San Francisco.
See, I was thinking Las Vegas, but like they got theirs just.
they got
recently.
theirs. Yeah.
But we were talking about that.
Yeah, Seattle and Vancouver are gonna have a good rivalry.
Yeah. That'll be really good.
But yeah, honestly, I'd be down with most of the Eastern teams. I like most of them, other than Toronto. So, go Boston!
Tell us how you really feel.
Go Boston! There were some divides at work
Yep.
in that Game 7 between Boston and the Maple Leafs.
Oh yeah.
Because I have some people from Toronto that I work with, and the one guy's like a diehard hockey guy, and he's like, "We got this tonight," and I'm like, "You're so going down, dude! Like, come on, it's Game 7 of Boston. You haven't beaten them in ages."
Yeah.
Who won?
Boston.
Okay. I don't know.
The Leafs got booted, and the next day I'm like, and then he wasn't even there.
Yeah,
and I'm
you
like,
didn't even show up to
No,
work.
no. That's why. Just hold on to it.
then I'm like, he was so depressed at his team losing, he didn't even show up to work. Been doing COD, obviously. Pew, 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 Battlefield 5. Pew, pew, pew.
Pews.
Pew, 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 pew. Getting better at that game. I found out I can build things.
Well, it depends on the class, right?
No.
Or
I am regular, like, assault dude.
I am regular
I
human.
have hammer, and there are places. So if you take the hammer out, you actually get guidelines of where you can like stack sandbags and stuff.
Okay.
So you can actually fortify certain positions,
Which can
on
be
the
destroyed.
map, which can easily be destroyed by
A tank.
I have a bazooka that I carry around too. Like I can destroy stuff. People can destroy stuff. Like it's
war.
It's war.
War
but
has
at
changed.
least I can actually like build things. I can barricade doors. Like I
Against
can
the
do
zombies.
against the zombies. And by zombies, I
Wars.
mean Nazis. And by Nazis, I might mean allies, because
Nazi zombies.
You know, I
Not-
could be on either side.
I watched Overlord. It could be both.
It could be both.
Good for both.
So,
I still have to watch that movie.
like I said, COD is really good in the fact that it's very arcadey and you shoot quick and like all of that. Battlefield's really fun for that bit of realism, I guess, like the heaviness and the weightiness, and you know, like this gun takes 5 seconds to actually reload because it's World War II.
I
So you're
thought it was World War One.
that's Battlefield 1.
Wow. I get confused.
5 went back to
I
2.
I made
V
that
has
mistake
come
as
too.
well.
V has become 2.
V has come to.
See? 2.
V has come to.
Yeah, Battlefield 2.
Was a Metal Gear Solid 5 ref?
Oh,
Was a Metal Gear Solid 5
yeah,
reference?
yeah.
You guys play Metal Gear
I
Solid
have
5.
played I have not played Metal Gear. Well, I played a bit of Metal Gear Solid 5.
You should
I got
play
chased through the woods by a giant fire demon, and I'm like, all right.
Just like this is the Kojima part
I'm like,
of the game.
this is the Kojima part, and then I got into the desert, and I'm like,
This
this
is
seems
the not
less
Kojima.
Kojima, and
This
I
is
quit
not-
playing.
Yeah, it's rough.
Like legitimately, I'm on a horse, and I'm like, what happened to the guy that was throwing fire at me in the hospital? And
I will say, like, there are parts of that game that, like, it's clearly Kojima.
Yeah.
But there's so much middle part that was.
That's like Edgar Wright and Ant-Man. You can like
Yeah, you
pull
can-
the pieces out where you're like, oh, that was part of his script.
Yep.
And then Conan Exiles, I've been practicing building stuff on my own
Okay.
level just to see, because
Can you invite us to your game?
Of course.
I can. It's a mishmash of junk though.
Oh.
Like it's legitimately experimenting. So when I jump into our game,
You know what you're doing.
I'm not wasting materials testing things out.
Right.
So that part's good. Because I've seen some amazing stuff online to the point where I'm like, the season passes are $40 for, and it's all just building sets. There's no fancy new stuff.
There's no story stuff.
No. It's all just, you can get Eastern architecture and Western architecture and like this kind of architecture.
kind of
You can
stuff.
start adding stuff. Hey, hello.
Hey, hello.
Yeah, you can just start adding all of these new pieces,
Mhm.
and even the armor pieces change. But if you read all the
Stats and stuff.
the notes for it, they're like it's
Oh.
just it's a level 3 epic. It just replaces a normal level 3 epic and looks different. You're like, okay, so you can look like you came from Asia,
Yeah.
and you can build a fort that looks like you know, raided some Asian people and stole their architecture and started building. So I'm like, the amount I build, part of me wants to pay for these pieces, but the other part of me is like, I'm doing good. So like, our base isn't crazy yet,
Yeah.
but I do want to start taking pieces down and putting new things up. Renos are involved now.
Explosions.
Yeah. Well, it's actually pretty easy because Conan does do a good job of like, you build foundation, build a wall, and then you can proceed to build on top of that wall. If you take out that foundation or that wall, all the subsequent stuff on top, done.
Oh, like science.
Yeah.
Science.
Like it actually comes down. So like
Not not the Minecraft effect.
no, where it just floats in the air. No, so I built like I was trying to get a horizontal elevator working last time we played. So it gets us across the river really slowly, but if you need to escape, you can, like, I'm trying to build kind of a little escape route where if you need to, because as soon as you click the horizontal thing, it starts going and there's no path because you're on a pulley system going this way. So I was trying to build that, and it only goes a certain distance, but it doesn't quite show you because it has to find an end before it shows you how far it will go. So I finally got that down to a piece, but I had to I had to build a pillar system up because I didn't want to put a bunch of foundation because it was expensive to build. So I just put these pillars up, and it's like, put something on top of there. I'm like, okay, that's the right amount of space. I'll go and do this. So then I got to the bottom pillar and just clicked that and destroyed it, and all the other ones just destroyed. So
Learning.
renovating's not tough, but now I've learned how to do like rounded rooms,
Oh.
so we can actually make like turrety type towers.
Sweet.
So I've been looking online at people's designs, and then people are putting like blueprints of how you like build the floors that way.
Nice, nice.
Because there's a wedge piece, and that's what was pissing me off. Is you build in squares. So a wedge piece you think would be a 90-degree angle,
Is it like a 45 or something?
and then two 45s, right?
Yeah.
So you'd end up fitting into that empty space.
Yeah.
And it doesn't. The wedge is
It's a weird.
it leaves like a gap that you can't put another wedge in. It's not like they did.
Just cover it up with a table.
So I looked online. If you start in the middle of the room with 6 wedges, and build that, and then build that out,
built out
from there with squares and more wedges, you can build yourself a circular room. So that's what I was experimenting with. So, like, I had 50 some wedges that I was playing with, and so and then in my game I just built it in a random spot because I'm like, whatever, it's here.
Yeah.
In our game now, I can sit there going, okay, so if I build the foundation out to here with cheap foundation, I can start making wedges and make like a
nice
tower that rises up from our
Phallic tower.
definite.
Circular
We don't need a
phallic
phallic tower. We have a statue on top of our
Yeah, we
island
have
that kind
this,
of
like, a
looks like a
ruin.
penis.
Yeah, I mean, you can't have naked men already, so you got to put it somewhere.
Do what you can. Do what you can.
Yeah.
Do what you can. So yeah, that's that part. And other than that, I have been doing nothing. I've been sleeping a lot. As you can tell, I'm getting over something. So
Nice. So we PPU'd.
God.
Still getting through Horizon Zero Dawn. I got another cauldron done.
Those cauldrons are really satisfying.
They are. They're really fun.
It's the planning the stealth around it and then just kind of executing
Yes.
everything at the same time.
I feel like it's what Breath of the Wild should have done with their dungeons.
A little bit.
Like they're
Yeah.
a lot more like puzzly and like there's some
challenging.
and challenging.
Challenging is the
Yeah.
best thing about that. Like
So-
Breath of the Wild, like once you got through one, they're called
the
shrines?
shrines.
Yeah.
Oh,
the
shrines,
Big, the
yeah.
big,
Yeah.
the dungeons, whatever we're calling
yeah.
them.
Oh
but-
yeah, those dungeons. Once you got through one of them, it's like, oh,
It's
I
like-
get it now.
Yeah.
Well,
And
yeah,
they're
'cause
so
all of them were I gotta rotate the beast.
Like the shrines are too simple and.
See, and I was okay with like the tiny shrines.
Those were great.
No,
the
I
big-
still got bored with
But-
them.
But
Yeah.
that's because there was 200 of them, so they can't.
I
You know,
guess.
the big dungeons are what pissed me off because it was the same concept every
Yeah,
time. Rotate
yeah.
beast,
Yeah.
rotate beast again,
Yeah. Fight bad guy.
Yeah. it
rotate beast.
But
The shrines were cool in the
Horizon,
fact
Horizon's great for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They're cauldron pieces.
less is more in that case.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's where I think Zelda It's like you can do all sorts of things, but
But I'm still gonna swipe my sword at the enemy until
till it breaks.
Yeah.
Till it breaks. Yes.
Till it breaks.
Yes, I forgot about that.
But
Until the Master Sword runs out of energy.
Yeah. For shame.
I still say if Breath of the Wild would have had it so there was like the mirror shield in the game
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
didn't break,
Yeah.
the Master Sword that didn't break. Like if you could eventually work your way to having weapons that not
Didn't
break.
that you?
I'm just surprised that everything in that game breaks.
But that's what I mean, like
I know.
8,000
Like
plus
even the
games.
Hyrule Shield.
Sure.
Like why is I thought that was supposed to be like the best shield,
It is.
and it
In the
breaks.
game. It is. It is
Well,
the
it
best.
is,
It
but
is
it
the
breaks.
best shield in the game.
Yes, it is. So I never used it because
I know because you don't want to.
Because you learn it. You
Oh, is
learn to parry.
Yeah. Or if you could
Get good.
repair it, you know, you couldn't repair any of that
Or
stuff
what-
very.
What they could have done with the Master Sword was had you raise it in the sky and charge it in the
do
sky.
the Skyward Sword.
The Skyward Sword thing.
Yeah.
And charge it up.
Something.
Yeah. No, I thought about that because I'm watching, like listening to you talk about that stuff, and then I was watching Game Grumps play through Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
And they're like, it's open world, it's gonna be great, and then they're stuck on the first island, and he's getting all pissed off because he can't go wherever he wants to yet. And then I'm sitting there and I'm watching stuff break over and over again, and I'm just going, oh.
That is painful.
And in my
It
brain,
is.
I'm just sitting there going, if they would have made it same game, but beating so many things got you invulnerable stuff.
Something. Yeah.
Or like this is
Like-
now this ladle is or this wooden mop is unbreakable.
Yeah.
It's
Like-
also a wooden mop.
Like, do you remember
Or
in
that.
Majora's Mask, you got that one sword and it would keep
Oh, you had it
dull,
for two-
but
yeah,
then
you had it
eventually
for-
you could build it to make it like.
Yeah, you had it for 200 swipes
No,
or
they
until
killed
you
it-
played
they
the
killed
Gilded
the
Sword. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, one of the best quest
Yeah.
lines.
But that was the same with the Begoron sword too. Even when it was like you
Yeah,
had that
it
tiny
kept
little
breaking.
thing, and and if you got it got repaired until like you hit like 2 things with it, and then it would break again because it didn't get fixed properly.
Yeah.
But like,
But eventually you could get it where it was
The
invulnerable.
and that's what I thought was going to happen when it's like you got the Master Sword, and I'm like, yes,
thank
I can
God,
finally just
finally.
start swinging
And
at
it's like,
things.
It's a
No.
level 1 Master Sword, so it runs out of juice. Oh, so that at least I can know that if I power it to level 2,
Yeah.
I get more swipes out of it.
Yeah,
level
or
3
something.
or
Sure.
Master Sword.
Yeah.
The Master
The
Sword.
breaking of things in that game is what drove me nuts.
Yes,
I can
and the
see-
rain.
Just hang on the edge. Just wait for the rain.
Just wait for the rain.
Yeah.
Just wait for the rain to stop.
But sometimes it would have stopped because I think it was generated where some places would always rain when you tried to climb the specific wall.
Yes.
That's what it felt like. I don't know if that's true.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like.
Just
And it's like,
Just hang on the wall.
Just hang on the wall.
awful.
Don't climb.
But
Hang-
Horizon,
Horizon.
you can't just climb any wall, which is fine.
Yeah.
But they
also
give you a
can't go-
path to do that, right?
Yeah, I don't mind being
That's fine.
limited if I feel like I'm
You can still get there.
explore.
Yeah, yeah. So, I still really love this game.
It's actually really, really pretty
I'm just
game.
taking my time with it. and
It's
haven't
definitely
really
a
gone very
take your
far.
time game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I started watching stuff. So I'm still watching The Office. So I'm on season 3, episode 9 now.
Parkour.
Parkour. Got to the episode where they thought one office was shutting down, but it was ended up being the other
Oh,
office.
the different offices. from-
Yeah, different branches. Sorry,
The
different branches.
And Jim is coming back, so
Yeah.
The
then
Scranton one for some reason survived.
Because of tea.
because Josh wanted to leave, and then Chris lent me Game of Thrones seasons 1 to
through
Did you
7.
did you binge season 1?
I got 1 done in a week. Season
That's
1
pretty
is
good.
done in a week.
That's not bad.
So
That's
pretty good.
That's better than what I would do.
yeah,
That's about what I did.
yeah, and we all know like Ned Stark was supposed to die.
He what?
What?
Sean Bean dies?
Sean Bean dies.
What?
Sean Bean dies. I didn't know how or when it was gonna happen.
Thought for sure he was going to make it through this time.
Baloney.
Favorite
So
character so far?
Ned Stark.
favorite character.
Other than
Ned
the-
Stark.
I
Really good.
yeah, I
Ned
love Ned Stark. I like
Stark, guys.
Jon Snow. I think I like what everyone else likes.
I don't know who else.
Dragon Lady,
Oh,
I can
Naked Lady.
do without Daenerys. or-
and I like Jason
Demerit. I can do that.
Demerit. And I like Jason Momoa.
Does he die?
Like-
I don't know who dies, and I think everyone dies. Like everyone you love dies.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I like Rob.
the
is cool.
robot.
No, Rob. His name's just Rob.
When does-
Rob Stark.
Okay, when does Hodor come in? Because that guy's cool.
next season, I think.
No, he's in
Or
this season.
He doesn't do that much.
He's just a
He-
Pokemon.
Hodor.
He just goes Hodar. Hodor.
He carries the
Hodor.
limp kid around.
Hodor.
He's a Pokemon, okay?
He carries the
guys?
kid
No,
who
he's
caught
Groot.
caught the two incestuous people doing it,
He's
and they
Groot.
got pushed out of the window.
Hodor.
One scene, he just
I
shows
watched
up
that.
naked, and they're like,
Hodor.
"Go put your clothes on, Hodor." And he's like, "Hodor," and he walks away. He just shows up naked and just walks away. Like
Hodor.
there was so much nudity in that movie, I don't even know
In
why.
that show
Show,
Basically,
because
the
it's
movie.
HBO. And you
which I
can't-
found out what HBO stands for. Finally,
What does HBO stand for?
home
Stand-
box office?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
what it
weird.
stands
That's a. I would never.
high quality entertainment for the price.
for. Yeah.
Because it used to be like that. Used to be all of their
Yeah.
shows. Was,
Yeah.
But now they're pumping out stuff like Nobody's Business,
You mean
trying to compete with Netflix.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is like you're sitting there going like,
Thrones.
oh no.
Yeah.
Hodor.
Hodor.
He sounds cool.
He seems like a pretty cool guy.
I like Arya. She's the only person.
Oh yes, I
She-
really like Arya as well.
If
I
she
hate
makes-
Sansa. I hate
Sansa's
Sansa.
an-
She's the only Stark I hate.
Okay, so there's two daughters that
Frodo brings the ring to Mordor.
So Sean Bean, Boromir has two daughters.
Okay.
One of
Oh,
them.
is she like the super young one that's supposed to be in the New Mutants, and then we're not getting the New
Yes.
Mutants to 2020?
Yes.
Arya
Arya
is
Is that
the
her?
New Mutants
Okay,
one.
she's cool. She's all right.
in the show.
I
She's
recognize her. Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
And
Sansa is Phoenix.
yes, and Sansa's the girl that plays Phoenix.
Okay.
And she
all
in
right.
the show is an idiot.
All right.
A complete idiot.
Like, and again, it's if you think of this is supposed to be like a medieval
Yeah.
era.
Do they
type
both
thing.
die?
So far, I don't believe so.
We need Chris here for this.
I know he probably was. If he's watching, he's like, I can talk about Game of Thrones with someone.
I know how dies.
I know Arya didn't because we talked about that last week because she had her first sex scene in in season 8 because she's finally old enough.
Was it a big deal?
Well, yeah, because she's never been naked on the show before
Okay.
because she's been too young. So
Underage.
yeah, Chris had even said he's like all of a sudden like the most Googled thing was like the actress's
Oh,
name and
right.
age.
That's right. Was that what? Is that actress? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about Game of Thrones characters.
No, so
I know the
either way.
actors more than the characters.
Right, so either way, like that was
I know
her big
Jason
thing. So
Momoa.
she's still in season 8, and I believe Sansa's still there just from pictures I've
Oh
seen
really?
online.
I don't know.
Sansa essentially is like, I'm going to marry the prince or the king because then I will be like,
A
powerful.
queen.
I will be a
You're
queen,
powerful.
and
I
I will
know
have
Game of
powers,
Thrones
and
stuff,
I
I
will
don't
have,
understand it.
and I will have like authority over people, and I will have my rightful place on a
She
throne,
sounds like a
sort of thing.
bitch.
She is.
She's-
completely.
Yes.
Things sort of change. I still hate her.
I don't know yet.
I honestly
I'm
hate
told
everybody
things-
but Arya.
I'm
They can
told
make
No,
fun
I
of
love
her.
I love Ned Stark.
Okay, and Ned Stark, but he's unfortunately not in any of the other seasons.
Yes.
Yeah, but
For reasons
They-
undisclaimed.
I heard that they can bring dead people back.
Not that way.
But
If it helps, if they bring him back, they don't have to get Sean Bean to play the character.
Yeah.
I want Sean Bean.
You just need a body double and with no head.
Headless
Bring
Horseman.
back Sean Bean.
Nope.
Super glue.
I like the Dothrakis just because of the way they live.
Who's the Dothrakis?
The like Jason Momoa.
Jason Momoa.
Oh, the dragon people.
The desert people.
The
yeah.
desert,
Yeah, the desert people.
Desert.
They kill and maim and rape and yeah.
I don't like
Oh.
the rape part. Like, I mean, I like the horse part. I like the horses. How they live by the horse.
Brian goes on record saying, I love the rape.
I don't condone their actions.
I love the rape.
I just like horses.
I just everywhere.
I just like horses.
Just give it to me
And
at
dragons.
HBO.
And dragons.
HBO, give me the rape.
And dragons.
Yeah, they're-
Actually, probably a lot of people get raped on that show.
Yes. A lot. Oh my
That's-
god.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the Dothraki, like,
I just like horses and dragons. And those desert
Horses
people.
and dragons.
they
It's
get,
just
pretty,
horses and
they get
dragons.
pretty brutal. Is the dragon lady's brother still around?
Nope, he's dead.
All right, okay. So that
So
was
I
pretty-
hated him.
That was a pretty brutal
Yeah,
scene.
he was.
I hate him. When I remember watching season 1, I was like, she's good at stuff.
Yes.
You are
Are just
riding
so-
on her.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, and it's great because Jason Momoa's character, like, totally knows it.
Yeah.
And finally, did you see what happened to him?
Season 1?
Yeah.
Oh, it was
I don't
great.
know.
It was
Was
probably
it the
one
gold
of the
thing?
greatest. death
Okay, I remember
scenes.
that.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that, and I was like, cool.
Yeah.
And then she's like,
Gold sheep.
"You're not a dragon because dragons don't burn."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
And then she doesn't burn. So
Nope.
she's a dragon.
She
Dragon
walks
lady.
out of the fire all naked.
How many times?
She signed her contract finally changed where she wouldn't do nude scenes anymore.
Oh, good. Good for her.
yeah, there was a ton of nudity in
It-
this.
it-
Like, it is just crazy.
So here's the shtick. This is why they do it. Season 1, load it up with nudity,
Yeah.
because then people are gonna watch it to see boobs,
And then they slowly.
I didn't- I-
and then they slowly take the boobs away
And
and
then replace it with
replace
zombies.
it with
zombies.
replace it with actual story. And
I
dialogue.
watched it for zombies, dragons, and horses.
Correct, but there are a lot of people out there who watched it for boobs.
I am not the typical.
And Jason Momoa
Jason.
swinging his massive thing around. So
Yeah, I never saw his thing. You see
I thought it
Hodor's
was-
thing.
you see Hodor's
You
thing.
see Hodor's thing.
I thought you do see Jason Momoa's
No.
dance. I thought you
You see
did.
his butt.
You see his butt.
You don't see his.
Oh, that's not as fun.
You don't
You
see his
see
gun.
Aquaman's butt.
That's not as fun.
I like him better as Aquaman. Just saying.
Well, because he doesn't act in this show.
No, he doesn't.
I need to watch Aquaman.
You still haven't seen it?
No.
That's surprising, man.
I do like it. Like it is a
Aquaman-
good DC
Aquaman's
movie.
cool.
I know, but this you actually like him.
Yeah,
They-
I'm the one.
I know you're the one person who actually likes
I know.
Aquaman as Aquaman.
That's why I was gonna be like, Aquaman's not cool.
Aquaman's always been cool.
He's such a.
They made him really cool.
They
They
made
did
him-
make him cool.
In the comics, they've made him much.
Yeah,
New 52 really
He's a lot
helped.
better in the modern day comics. In
Yes.
the original comics, he was
all
such
sucked.
a loser.
They all really were.
No, he's better
Wonder
now in the
Woman was a
comics.
twat.
Superman was also an idiot.
Yes.
The only one that was actually any usefulness was Batman, and that's debatable.
Well, and that was
he
that
was-
was the Greg. Was that Greg Miller?
Maybe.
The original Batman?
No.
No, like
no,
original
like the super-
Batman, he
like
was a
Super
very
Friends.
ethical person.
No, no,
original
Super-
Batman.
no,
Original
Super-
Batman shot people.
No, we're talking
But he
like
was a detective.
no, we're talking
Yeah.
Super Friends Batman. Like
Oh.
that's what I have in my mind of like the shitty quality of those characters.
No, like Superman, I still loved. I'll use my super knitting powers to get out of this spider. Like he's
Yeah.
trapped in a spider's web, and it's like I'll use my super knitting powers to get out of this, and you're like, you have laser eyes, dude. Like, zap.
Or even just freeze the silk.
Sure.
And then
Or super strength. It's
I could
Or
see how
su- or
super
frost
strength would
breath.
work. Because they say
Frost
spider
breath.
silk is as strong as steel.
he's stronger than steel. He can bend it.
He can use his frost breath to freeze it and then break it.
Right, but that's the piece. Like, there's all these things, and he's gonna use his super knitting powers to get out of this, and you're like, all right, Soups, good job.
Good job.
They should have referenced that in those movies. Did you-
If they wrote those movies properly, they would have.
They would have,
like
yeah.
he walks out of like his cabin thing or
I
his
can
house.
do this
No,
all
no,
day.
he's got, like-
yeah. Like,
Like he walks out of his cabin and he's got like this knit, like this like jacket. It's like, would you make that? No.
exactly. Yeah.
No. Yeah.
I've had a lot of time on my hands.
Yeah. It's like, no. Yeah.
And I knit at the speed of.
No. Yeah.
You go into the house, there's knitting everywhere.
It's his basement.
What do you do when you're
Fortress of
outside?
Solitude. It gets cold, all right.
Yeah.
He's got little blankets and comforters everywhere.
Without the sun, I'm always cold.
And again, minor spoiler for Endgame, but like if they can fit in Hail Hydra
Oh, yeah.
so nicely into a Marvel movie, you can fit
They
in the
did that
dumb old jokes
yes.
from DC. Because DC was brutal.
Yeah. They didn't know how to do that stuff.
Well,
Well, no,
here
even the
I'll-
DC comics were...
Some were bad. It depends on
Well,
the
no,
writer.
No, early comics,
Oh,
and I mean
oh,
early
yeah,
comics
yeah.
for all of them were bad, but Marvel has fun with it,
Yeah.
where like they'll put in an old costume somewhere, like with Cap, like they put in, they had that old costume on the posters and stuff, and then all of a sudden he gets
Even in
it.
the Netflix shows with Luke Cage.
Yeah, like
Like
they
he comes in with like the afro and he's got the
Yeah.
metal thing.
Yeah.
He goes like, "You look like a fool."
right, but they fit in all those nice little things. Whereas
They have fun with it.
yeah, DC's just like forget all the campy stuff. Let's go with because when DC Comics got big was when Batman got dark, in the comics.
So dark works.
Really?
Says the Flash.
Oh. Because I always liked the
Doesn't
Batman
work for the
comics before
Flash.
he got dark.
Because that's when people started buying Batman comics. He was still a detective, and he still did stuff, but all the stories got to be a lot more like
That's what I
noir
liked.
based and like
Was that pre or post the Killing Joke?
pre. That was
Pre,
long.
yeah,
That
Killing
was
Joke's
the
pretty.
90s.
Yeah.
That was when like McFarlane was doing Spider-Man, and like
Yeah.
everybody got a little edgy for a while there in the 90s, but Batman didn't get edgy. He just got dark.
Right.
Well.
Spider-Man got
I
edgy because
liked-
Venom
I liked-
came in and Carnage came in, and that was like edge.
Well,
I still like this dark Batman, but I still like
um,
Batman before.
Sinister Six also was bad too. Like it was.
Oh, if you read the old stuff, it's brutal. Even the old 70s show with the Sinister Six was like he used ventriloquism to have them beat each other up.
It was meant for children.
You're stupid, Electro. What did you say, Green Goblin? I'll show you.
Hey, that's
Spider-Man
possible.
3 is a national treasure.
It is and it isn't.
You're
He
right.
put 2 movies in there.
You're right, Holodeck.
No, I'm just kidding. National Treasure.
Also National Treasure.
I will take that. Yeah, I'll take another one of those.
I think Nick Cage is ready.
Nick Cage is always ready.
If Jim Carrey can come back as his old self, maybe Nick Cage.
Nick Cage can do whatever Nick Cage wants.
Yeah.
Nick Cage, good or
Nick
bad.
Cage.
Good or bad.
Don't watch more than 3 movies at a time.
Oh, good.
I'm a sexy cat.
Please.
That's a really good one.
I'm a sexy cat. Bed.
But loving Game of Thrones. Well, I'm actually enjoying it quite a lot more.
I enjoyed season
this
1.
time.
I enjoyed season 2, and then, like I said, switching DVDs finally got to me, and I was done.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll ever get into it.
I find I just go play all.
Yep.
And then you just keep.
I know, but then eventually you get 3 episodes in, and you have to go change the disc, and then I go, I'll just go to bed. I'm already up.
I'm already up.
I just got up.
I just got up. Might as well just.
Well,
go
because
to
if I'm
bed.
watching downstairs, like, because that's where the only Blu-ray player was for the longest time, so I was watching it off the PlayStation. So I'm like, I'd get up off the couch to go change DVDs, and I'm like,
And then you gotta wait for the DVD to
well, so I'm sitting there going like,
It's like
or the
that's-
Blu-ray player. So I'm sitting there going like, I have to pee. If I'm gonna go, I might as well just go to bed. Like, this night's shot. I have enough time for like one more episode, but whatever. I'll just go to bed.
Maybe that means the show isn't thrilling enough to enthrall you.
It is and it isn't. There's parts that are, like Jon Snow. I like his stuff.
Yeah, like I
And
like
Jon
the
Snow's
North
cool.
Wall.
I hope he doesn't die.
Like the North Wall stuff's really kind of funky.
It's interesting.
I'm living vicariously through you guys watching
Yeah.
the show.
Okay.
Just so you know. I
Our-
don't know much about this show.
Arya's cool because I like where her.
I really like
Arya
Arya. Yeah.
because she's a kid who gets separated from everybody and has to learn how to figure it out
Survive.
and survive in this world of again rape and murder and
Yeah.
Dragons.
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 Now dragons.
Not so
Horses.
much dragons yet, but you know
Dragons.
they're about this big where
But they're
she is.
cute.
Yeah.
They are.
They are so cute.
Yeah, that's HBO money right
And they
there.
cover her with JJ.
Yeah.
Really?
She's holding one right there.
Aww.
Well placed. Well placed,
placed.
dragon.
Aww. You know what that
But
dragon is.
Sansa just annoys the hell out of me. Holy crap.
But a lot
I'll
of the
slap her.
characters just start annoying me to the point where I'm like, and Peter Dinklage's guys,
I like what's his
parts of
Tyrion?
Tyrion. I think.
He's my favorite Lannister.
Well, I like the dad. He's an asshole, but I like him.
Who's the dad?
Does he die?
Oh, the dad.
I like-
The blonde hair, swept back English actor does a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I forgot his name, but he's like the ruling Lannister.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like he's the
Okay, who owns the Iron Throne right now? Who owns the Game of
the
Thrones?
Lannister.
The Joffrey.
Joffrey, the young
Okay.
jerk face.
Oh, I hate him.
That's the one who Sansa wants to marry, because she will then be queen. Even
Wow.
though he hates her and is clearly gay,
He's also a dick.
and also a giant asshole.
Yeah. And yeah, just I don't care if he was in Batman.
He
I
was
don't
in
like the
Batman?
actor anymore either.
He was in Batman?
Who's the little kid in Batman? That Batman gives his contraption to in the first Batman Begins. Yeah,
That was him?
that's it.
Wow.
He dropped far hard.
Well, he actually rose to a pretty good occasion,
Yeah.
but his character is an absolute
Yeah,
dick.
and that's
But
kudos
his
to
mom
the
is
actor.
an absolute
Yeah,
yes.
kudos to the actor because it is harder to isn't it harder to act as a terrible person than it is to act as a good person?
I don't know. I think I'd have a pretty easy time of it. Because you could just take all of that stuff. That
Oh,
just,
Inner rage. That
Yeah,
inner
inner
rage.
rage is just
let her
All right,
loose.
cut. We're done for the day. No. I want to kill more people.
Who else can I
Who
behead?
else should I kill?
It's like, wow, Nick's really taking his script reading seriously, sitting on the throne, just yelling at no one.
You know the camera's off. Turn the cameras on.
Camera's on. I am king. That's all I've been doing. Just
Okay.
kind of trying to get through Game of Thrones.
I was gonna say that's a lot though. Game of Thrones is it's a lot.
Heavy. It's a
lot
heavy
of time
show.
and yeah, quite heavy.
10 hours worth in a week. So
I have been watching Pokemon the series on Netflix.
Yes.
They
Which
just they updated Sun and Moon
okay.
because they updated it with Ultra Adventures.
Okay.
So all of it, they're currently on Melee Island, and they are doing Adventure Guardian or Ultra Guardian work. So the story is they're in this school, and then every once in a while an Ultra wormhole opens up.
Yep.
And it's up to them, all the kids, to go and find the Ultra Beast and basically Ghostbuster them back into the Ultra wormhole.
Ooh.
So
That is such a weird show.
it is so strange. Okay, so this episode that we just finished watching, they have captured Buzzwole, which is an Ultra Beast, and that I love this.
I don't know my Ultra Beasts.
So I really love this because I think it's like season 1 and season 2. All throughout season 1, they all call them Ultra Beasts. They all like name them like UB01 or whatever.
Yeah.
Which is like Nihil Ego. But like when season 2 starts up, it's literally one line that they say, "Oh, we're not calling them Ultra Beasts anymore. We're just gonna call the Ultra Beast Pokemon." I'm just like, but they're from a different universe,
Yeah.
so they couldn't be Pokemon. We're gonna call them Pokemon now, just to make it easy for the writing team.
Laziness. This is what sloth gets you.
But it is really cool because you can definitely still see that show is made for kids.
Yep.
There's literally like a 5-minute scene where they're suiting up like Power Rangers into their
Sweet.
Ultra Guardians outfits.
Sweet.
Everyone's got like spandex on.
Dun, dun,
yeah,
dun.
yeah, and then like it's like lights on their arms, and
Yeah.
it's just a little
Sailor
bracelet.
Moon.
Yeah, it's very Sailor Moon like, and it's super cool. Professor Kukui and Professor BrNN got hitched in the most epic way possible, which is awesome. They were walking on a beach, and I guess something was like happening between them, and she's like, "I choose you," and he pulls the Pokeball out, and it's actually just a ring in the Pokeball. And I'm just like, that's so clever.
That's actually
clever.
That's very
That's so
Pokemantic.
clever. That's so clever.
Did you just put anything in a Pokeball?
Yeah, do you not?
Why are they carrying around backpacks?
Do you not?
It's like Dragon Ball where they just poof.
Do you
Yeah. If I have that tech on me,
not? Do you not?
backpack in Pokeball.
Okay, you can't put a bag of holding within a bag of holding, alright? That breaks the fabric of the universe.
No, it doesn't. Challenge accepted. Can I go in a bag of hold? We were talking.
Yes, you
about
can.
this.
We were
You
talking
don't,
about
you
this.
don't want to.
Challenge accepted. you don't D&D with me. Challenge accepted.
Okay, you can
What's
do
that
it.
guy's name in Harry Potter? Technically does it all the time. Into his suitcase. He has a whole world down there with lots of different storage.
Oh,
Yeah, but Harry Potter
Newt.
magic is different than
Yeah, D&D. It's
D&D, it's
I think it's
which is
chaotic.
different than Pokemon. So yeah, they're
Pokeball
doing
technology.
Ultra Beast capturing. Ash catched his first Ultra Beast.
It's okay.
one
He'll
did
let
he
it.
catch?
He'll let it go in.
He'll
a
let it
season,
go,
it's
yeah.
fine.
He let it go in the same episode.
Oh gosh.
They just saved the trouble.
How is he gonna be a master if he just
So,
is like
to be fair, they're just throwing them back in the Ultra Wormhole. That's what they were doing. So I assume at some point in time, they're all going to come back. There's going to be some big fight, and all these Ultra Beasts are going to come back, and they're going to fight by his side. And
Pokemon Pacific Rim?
Pokemon Rim.
Yep.
Pokemon Rim. Pokemon Rim.
Some master.
Yeah, no, it's actually a really good show still. Like,
Can he control his Charizard yet?
he doesn't have
He doesn't
Charizard.
have Charizard anymore.
Well, he does, but he doesn't have him with him. He's got
It's in
Pikachu.
his box.
He got Pikachu. He got Rowlet. He got Litten. He got Pokedex Rotom. He's got a
Ash.
Lycanroc Dusk form.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, that's all he's got.
Oh, Ash.
So I came up with this like massive theory, like this headcanon theory, that all the kids, because you guys have all watched a little bit of Sun and Moon, right?
I've watched a bit of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
My headcanon theory is that they're not actually in school, is that it's actually a special needs class. Because one of the episodes is literally like, all right, we're going to make clay sculptures of Pokemon. And I'm like,
You're just wait a second.
what?
How-
It makes a lot more sense if they were in a special needs class than if they were in an actual school.
How old is Ash supposed to be?
10.
Yeah, that's a grade 4 thing. We do weird stuff like that. That's art class.
Yeah, but that's like just... And then the next episode is them going on an adventure on finding, I don't know, the same Pokemon that they made a sculpture for.
Well, just because their school has funding for field trips.
They don't. They don't. They just go outside. Remember, it's the world of Pokemon.
Field trips would be so much easier if Pokemon were
I
around.
know!
I know, right?
Kids, go outside and catch me a Squirtle.
We'll learn about its anatomy.
Oh, God. No!
I meant like like how you dissect a. Oh, that's a frog. You dissect.
Don't I want to
Why are we
dissect
dissecting
this
a Squirtle?
Don't dissect... You're going to be disappointed.
He fell for the
I
trap.
forgot about this.
Do you want to?
I'm pretty sure there's been some professors. No, I don't. I don't want to talk. I just want to
There's
open
one
it.
more left.
Because I can now.
You can clearly open it.
Because remember I had trouble before.
Yeah. So yeah, we just have this headcanon theory. It's like they're all just in special needs class. There's no way they're actually learning anything. They're
You're just catching them in art class all the time.
all the time.
All the time.
So yeah, we were catching up with that. My wife and I. Good show still. We watched also on Netflix the Christopher Robin film with
yes.
Ewan McGregor and Haley Atwell.
Good old Agent Carter and Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Obi-Wan Kenobi. Headcanon. Those two actually exist now. The first third of that movie is the most disappointing film I've ever seen.
Really? Why?
What?
'Cause
With overly depressed Christopher Robin?
Overly depressed Christopher Robin just completely ripping shreds into Winnie the Pooh.
He has PTSD,
Yeah.
yo.
And wasn't that the 1930s? Like the economy
Yeah.
was really bad.
It was, but like you're making a kids movie, make it fun and
I
happy,
heard it.
and then he actually starts having fun with 100 Acre Woods
Yeah.
people, and then that actually became a really good movie from then on. Point. It just felt like a
That's the point of the
yeah,
movie.
I thought it was targeted towards the adults that grew up with Winnie the Pooh,
Yeah.
saying, "Hey,
I just think that the
don't forget your childhood."
Yeah, but that scene because we've all seen.
Multiple times.
Yeah, no, like
We've all
that one.
seen Christopher Robin.
Yes.
Yes.
That one scene where he was ripping into Winnie the Pooh is like, oh my god, this.
It was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
It was incredibly.
And Winnie the Pooh was just like,
What do I want to?
"Sorry, Christopher Robin."
I was just. I that hurt me a little bit.
It's supposed to hurt.
Supposed to hurt.
Exactly what it's supposed to.
It hurt me a little.
When you feel emotions in a movie, that's okay.
Yep. They got you.
But like so much so that I was just like, this doesn't seem right.
You have to go with he became man of the house, lost his childhood then, and then went to war, and then came back with PTSD because he did. He had the bombs going off around him and all of that stuff.
But I
Yeah.
didn't get the PTSD.
Oh, see, I got that part.
I didn't get
I
any of that.
got that.
I didn't get any of the PT. I get that he went to war, but they don't really.
Came back. His daughter was born while he was gone, so there's
Yeah.
not an attachment to her other
Yeah.
than what he knew as a kid growing up, which
Yeah.
was go to school, get your stuff done,
Yeah.
do this,
Right.
like
That I got. That I figured out.
Yeah.
so.
But it just seemed disjointed the first third of that movie. The rest of it, freaking amazing.
Oh no, and it's not a kids movie. Like when
Like
we
the
went to
last 2/3 of that movie was just I was having fun.
Yeah.
They were doing hijinks. It was just a good time.
and that's what's supposed to happen. You're supposed to go from super depressed to
Yeah, character development.
levity, but
Just like Hollow is saying right now, he's saying they need to start with a.
broken character.
I guess so. In my mind, Christopher Robin was never broken. Like when reading those books, he was never really broken.
But we never got adult Christopher Robin.
Yeah.
I guess so.
That's the piece.
It's I wasn't.
Oh no, like when we went to the theater, like my wife and I, the person next to us, their kid was pretty much in the fetal position in their mother's lap the entire flick, and you're just like, yeah, this
It is
Not
not,
a
a
kid's
kids movie.
It's not, well, that's what they even said for Incredibles 2. Like, even the director's like, I didn't intend this to make this specifically for kids. It's also made for the adults.
yeah, but that's most animated flicks.
Yeah.
Animated.
Yeah.
A good animated
Exactly
movie
right.
can be watched by everybody.
Right.
It's an all audience movie, whereas Christopher Robin really I do believe was intended for people who grew
yes.
up with Winnie the
Yes.
Pooh
Yep.
and then
Not really meant
Yes.
for kids.
it's not really meant for young kids.
Yeah. Infants.
Yeah. 4-year-olds who are like, Winnie the Pooh, Winnie the Pooh. Are
Are you tweeting a bunch of stuff? Because I'm getting notifications.
Discord swipes our tweets.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, no, that's I was perplexed for that film. Maybe I'll watch it again. I'm not sure, but I just didn't have a great time with the beginning of that.
Yeah, it does depend how you go into it. Like, if...
Yep.
It's like, every movie, it's just like, what do you expect of it? And then...
I wasn't sure what to expect. I wasn't.
Depressing things.
And then real happy, fun time fighting a Huffalump.
Heffalump.
Heffalump, yeah. Like that was
That
was
part
fun.
was so cute.
That was so much
Oh
fun. I
my
actually had a
gosh.
smile on my face. I'm like,
Yeah.
where was this entire film up to
But
that?
that's why you smiled, because you were so depressed and then you were so happy.
I felt like Eeyore the first part of that movie.
I always feel like Eeyore when I watch those movies.
Eeyore's
Because Eeyore's the best.
Eeyore is the best.
No, Winnie the Pooh's pretty
He's
good.
the most
too.
down to earth.
Winnie
He's
the
got reality down
Got
pat.
reality down.
Heffalumps are crap.
Winnie the Pooh's pretty good. I'm just saying, Pooh's pretty good. It's pretty
The
consistent.
animation, they
And the
did the
animation was
great
crazy.
work.
The animation,
Yeah, it looked like...
I think that maybe part of me was expecting that to be like 100 Acre Woods like residents to be all in his head canon. If it was more like if he was having actual PTSD, then those the animals wouldn't be real.
I can see that, but
and then like it would be him seeing it and his kid seeing it, but the wife,
no other adults would.
No other adults would.
That made for some good timing.
Yeah, that would.
That would have been. That was maybe where I was thinking like, oh, now they're just also shoehorning these to be real animals.
Yeah, they did.
Which I guess made for an interesting film, but would have been made a little bit more sense if he had really PTSD, like going back to the childhood.
I also feel bad for those characters because they've been like alone in the 100 Acre Woods for like 30 years.
No, yeah.
But they're still living a life without Christopher Robin.
Well, what's Pooh gonna do without Christopher Robin? Hang out with Piglet?
A lot of honey.
Who's gonna hang out with Piglet all day?
No, he's doing morning stretches. Morning stretches.
Piglet.
Stretches.
And go and look for honey. How's he gonna get out of the hole?
Red balloons.
Who's gonna get him a red balloon? Huh?
He doesn't know that he wanted a red balloon until that moment.
He does the balloon thing. Oh no, he uses a blue balloon in the bee with the bees, so he can blend in with the sky. But Christopher Robin gets him the damn blue balloon.
Red.
In the original?
Oh yeah, in the movie.
No. Like in the books, Christopher Robin is quintessential to all of Pooh's adventures.
Adventures.
Pooh legitimately would still be stuck in a hole.
That's why it's called Adventures with Pooh, not Pooh's Adventures.
Yeah.
Because Christopher Robin starts them.
We have to take him with us.
Yeah. So yeah, Pooh every day just like
Maybe
wakes up, does his stretches, goes for a smackerel, can't find one, goes to find a smackerel,
can't get out,
and then it's just like, oh, all right.
Maybe he was help building Eeyore house all that time, and they never.
You really want Pooh to build a house for you?
Well, that's the thing. They can never build a
succeed.
house. They never succeeded.
I found you this leaf. Is this good enough? No. Okay, hold on.
Okay.
I found you this stick.
How about this stick and leaf?
Maybe it can work as a tail. Yeah. I guess it'll have to do.
Yep. Yeah, no, a part of that movie, I think it would have been worked better if Christopher and Madeline were the only people who saw the animals.
Yeah. It would make more sense for an adult movie, too. Like, if it was, if it was directed.
I liked the fact that they could all see it just because I love Haley Atwell. So she got to participate and all that was fun.
And when Tigger's just on the, like, when he smacks the car in the window.
Yeah.
And there's other people who are just like, what?
Or that one scene where he crashes into the newspaper stand. And they're like, you saw that, right?
Yeah,
black magic? Yeah. It's black. No, I didn't see anything at all. You saw it. You saw it. No, I didn't see anything at all.
I did not. Nope, didn't see a thing.
That made for a really funny moment.
Yeah.
But I think narratively, it would have made a little more sense if they didn't.
Yeah.
So.
I think that movie I just gave into. I was like,
yeah. At some point,
it is one you got to just.
Yeah. So watch that, and then I watched Detective Pikachu.
Yeah.
Pokemon Detective Pikachu. Ask me anything.
No.
Okay. Thanks for watching that. That's a freaking awesome movie.
I can't wait to see that movie.
It is we walked out of that film, and it's a successful Pokemon movie when we were like, we want Pokemon. We want them because they did a really good job with animation for everything.
You mean they didn't change their overall character design to fit some stupid and unnecessary type of like?
They didn't add teeth to anything. They didn't have teeth.
Here's my thing: the teeth are the one thing that don't bug me on Sonic.
No, they don't bug me that much.
It bothers.
It doesn't.
Because he has teeth.
It's his face structure.
Yeah.
It's the legs more so than anything.
Legs.
The legs bother me the most.
The eyes, the forehead,
choose
the shape of his chin.
Actually, you know what?
Choose a Sonic.
The whole Sonic.
Yeah, the whole body.
Choose a Sonic, either the chubby one or the skinny one.
Right.
Your choice.
Exactly.
Pick one.
They
didn't even mix them. Like, it's not like they went like, okay, we'll do half skinny and half like tubby. We're just gonna go with, again, like I said, it's like they put Usain Bolt in a onesie. And
meanwhile, you have Pikachu.
Who looks like Pikachu.
You have Charizard. That looks like a Charizard.
Mr. Mime looks like a
Mr. Mime looks like
yeah.
Even Magikarp looks like it's useless like a Magikarp. Like when that scene comes up, Pikachu throws the Magikarp down. He's like, "Oh, I thought that was gonna work. He's supposed to evolve," and he's just flopping this fish around. I'm like, "Oh, because he's useless. He's useless."
But that's my thing. Even watching the trailers, is you sit there going,
"They did so well.
They took the Pokemon,
took
the model." and went, what would this look like if we put a real texture on top?
Yeah.
Like, what would a bird look like in real life?
Right.
What would a Pidgeot, what would a Braviary look, what would a Rufflet look
Yeah.
like? They have the feathers and everything when they're
Right.
flying. It's totally accurate. Like, there's a scene where Pikachu jumps onto a Pidgeot, and it's got that big, long, is it orange or pink?
Pink,
Or-
I think.
It's like a pink
I think
head,
it's like
pink
pink
head
and white
motail,
or-
like
pink
a
and
whatever
mohawk
that
thing.
piece is,
That,
yeah.
that was animated perfectly.
Well, sure, because it's a giant feather.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, I know it's a feather, and I
Like-
know in the cartoon it's a feather, and it looks like a cartoon feather, but if you're going to make it into a real movie, it's got to be
Cartoon
Yeah.
feather.
a feather.
Like, even, not really a spoiler because it's in the trailer, Mewtwo,
Sure.
like when Mewtwo
Yeah.
shows up, he looks
like
like Mewtwo.
Yeah.
He looks like Mewtwo.
It's not some weird like.
They didn't like alienate
Cat.
him or anything like.
Naked
He's
cat
got
looking
he's
thing.
got the like a light pink body and then he's got the dark purple tail.
Yeah.
Like it looks like Mewtwo.
Yeah.
So
Did they ever play the original like American Pokemon song? The very best. No one ever
say if it does or not is a spoiler.
Oh.
There's a specific scene that may or may not play.
All right.
Sorry, I asked the question.
This is what you get for... We just said no questions.
I know, but I had to know.
It's in there somewhere. To give you
Okay.
a straight yes or no answer. Yes, it's in there.
All right.
When it comes up,
don't know.
you're not
I'm
expecting.
sorry.
When it comes up, you're not expecting it.
Spoiler alert.
It's like the Power Rangers theme song during the Power Rangers movie.
That was so.
That was good.
That was
No, it's in this movie.
Yeah.
But when it comes up, it's the least you're not expecting it.
Okay.
All right.
So they pander perfectly, but not over the edge.
Good.
Okay.
The animation's so good. I don't know.
It looks so cute.
Charmander's great. That Bulbasaur scene. There's a Bulbasaur scene. It's also in the trailer. No,
Yeah.
Not a spoiler. Freaking cute.
Yep.
There's those Bulbasaurs are so freaking. I want one.
I just if Pokemon are real, I don't care which one I would get. I would just want a Pokemon.
No, Nick cares. I want a Squirtle.
The Squirtles are in this. The
I know, I
Squirtles
saw.
in.
Let's say squirrels didn't exist, but there's
And
just
it's so-
Pokemon, but squirrels
so-
don't exist. Would you still catch a Pokemon?
I would.
I would.
So that's part of the story in this movie is
Squirtle or nothing.
that's part of the movie is in Rhyme City. There's no like people don't own Pokemon. There's no Pokeballs at all.
Oh, okay.
Like there's like people and Pokemon live in
Just
harmony.
coexist almost.
They just coexist.
So is that why the fight scene looks like it's an underground
There's
fight
a reason.
scene?
Yes, there's a reason for that.
It's
Yes,
a fight scene.
it's
With
in the
the
trailer.
Charizard.
It's in the
Oh,
trailer.
the trailer.
Where he's trying to.
Where he's like stretching in the thing.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
hand
he's all
it
like,
in front of people.
I'm trying to. Yeah.
A Charizard's coming at him.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds is just the acting in this movie surprisingly is really good.
You know, Ryan Reynolds wanted to do like a old noir, like New York accent, eh?
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
really?
glad they just kept him.
No, he showed up and he was ready to do the whole like gumshoe and the whole like, what are we gonna do, kid? Da 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 da. And they're like, no, Ryan, we just want Ryan. And he's like, so the Deadpool voice? And they're like,
There's actually a reason for the Deadpool, like the Ryan Reynolds voice, and I'm not gonna
Yeah.
say why, but there's a reason why
works out.
there's a reason why he sounds like himself. The actress, the side actress, God, she's a two-dimensional cardboard. She cannot act in this movie.
I don't think she can act.
She's just like
I think
she's so like there are emotional and intense scenes in that movie, and then she just goes, "Oh, okay, so this is happening. Let's just go now."
How did Justice Smith, no relation to Will Smith, do?
Really, really good.
Good.
Like he felt like he was in the movie.
seems like a good-
He wanted to be in this movie, and
He
you can
really wanted to be in the movie.
like, and you can see like Ryan Reynolds, Justice Smith, not actress lady.
Yeah.
I don't even know her name.
I don't know, but the people who are in this movie wanted to be in this movie.
Yeah.
Um,
No, they were
if you
interviewing-
see, like, I'm actually surprised some of the actors they got for this movie. I don't know, is it like a spoiler to tell you some of the actors?
Maybe yes.
Chow Yun-Fat's in it, isn't he?
No.
Or who was it?
Bill Nighy.
Oh.
Bill Nighy plays a role in the film. Like he's.
Professor?
I'm not. No.
Oh, I should stop asking questions.
There's no professor. The one thing you have to realize about Rhyme City is not a typical
It's not
Pokemon
the
City.
Pokemon-
Oh, sorry, it's Ken Watanabe that I saw on the trailer.
Oh yeah, Ken Watanabe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Bill Nighy's in the film.
Stop looking. You don't get to. You're trying to spoil things for yourself. Catherine Newton is useless.
Yeah, is that her?
Yeah.
Yeah,
She was
in-
in-
her Psyduck partner way better than her.
I love that Psyduck's in there. Oh, Psyduck's such a good
Yeah.
Pokemon
and,
too.
and they played that scene perfectly.
She was in Supernatural.
Was she like a two-dimensional twat?
She was in
What did she
Supernatural.
look like?
What did she do in Supernatural?
I have no idea who that actress is.
I'm trying to think.
Oh, that's her.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't like her.
See,
in Supernatural.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I've seen her before, and she couldn't
they
act
tried
then.
they tried to do a arc with her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like it.
It did.
Oh, she was the girl from Paranormal Activity 4, the webcam one.
Oh yeah, that is her.
Yeah.
That is her. She
Didn't have to act in that movie.
I was gonna say,
That's-
like,
see, problem solved.
Less screen time.
Don't have to act.
Yeah, no, the actors all are super into this movie,
Except that one.
except that one. Like even Ken Watanabe, like he's super. Like
I love Ken Watanabe.
He can get
he's
into anything,
oh my
though.
gosh, he plays like he's the police chief, and his partner Pokemon is the Snubble, and Snubble is very like grumpy.
Snubble.
It's very grumpy. So like the first time you meet him, or Justice like Tim, he's like, "Oh, are you sure your Snubble likes me?" He's kind of like grunting at me. He's like, he's nice on the inside. And so he goes to try and pets him and like bites him a little bit. and the interactions between the humans and the Pokemon, it seems so incredibly seamless that it's just, it feels like they're there.
Yeah.
Like this is what you do. This is how you do a Pokemon movie.
Yeah,
in real life.
they played Who's That Pokemon at one of the red carpet things.
Oh yeah,
And so they were showing them pictures of like the Who's That Pokemon?
it's always Pikachu.
And the first one was Detective Pikachu.
Okay.
Because it was he had the hat on.
It's
Then
not
they showed
Jigglypuff from
Psyduck.
Jigglypuff from above.
They had a regular Jigglypuff, not from above. They showed a Clefairy off, and the only person who got it was Justice.
Oh, good.
But he's sitting there staring at it. He goes, and the director thought it was a Gengar because he's looking at the shape, trying to like figure it out. And he goes,
Gengar's in the movie.
but he's
Yeah.
like Gengar.
Did they use the models from the movies or the cartoon?
The only one they used from the movie, I think, was Detective Pikachu. The rest were just like
From the cartoon.
So Justice was the only one that got it because one of the interviews he did, he's like, I've been playing Pokemon since like Gold and Silver. Like that's when I was a kid. Like that was
Sure.
the first one that came out when I was a kid. He's like, I've been playing since then. The card games and like all of the stuff, and you're just like, yeah.
There's definitely like a
They found at least the kid who knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
It feels like they are trying to canonize this Detective Pikachu movie into the overall
Oh, yeah.
world.
Oh, really?
They do name drop the other regions, like
Yep.
Kanto, Sinnoh.
Nice.
They do name drop them at some point in times in the movie, just as like a one-off thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. I have I read a really, really interesting fan theory because you know they're developing more Pokemon movies after it.
Oh,
You have to.
Yeah.
Like
Well-
this movie's gonna be so wildly
And
successful.
again, they did it properly by putting Pokemon at the top.
Yeah, not just Detective.
And then
Pikachu.
Detective Pikachu.
Yeah.
So unlike, our Harry Potter talks all the time,
Yes.
this one legitimately Pokemon,
So my
Charizard's Revenge.
my headcanon, someone's
That'd be a great
headcanon
movie.
like theory
Yeah.
about the next Pokemon film is they're gonna do Pokemon Red and a Pokemon Blue.
No.
They're gonna film the entire film. It's the same film, but depending on where you see it, you see the Pokemon Red version or the Pokemon Blue version, and the only differences are the Pokemon that show up in the movie itself.
It's just like the background Pokemon.
Yeah, so it's like instead of a Vulpix, it's a Growlithe.
Yeah.
Or instead of like a Diglett, it's a Geodude, or
Yeah.
like something like that.
That would take about 5 seconds to do. The distribution
that-
would be a pain. But
It would be a pain.
Yeah.
But if they could pull it off, that would be the coolest like
That would
homage
be
to.
super neat.
that would
to-
even
to
be
the
cute
video
if
games.
that would even be cute if they just did that as a region thing because
Yeah.
they change stuff every
They
once in a
can.
while for that.
But I think you need to put that on the title though. Like
That
put
would be- yeah.
You have
Yeah,
to differentiate
Pokemon
that.
Red, Pokemon Blue.
Or like whatever title you want to do. Like this is the Pokemon A and B version, but it's the same movie. It's filmed the same way.
Yeah.
Like the same actors, same
That's-
performances,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they're all CG anyways.
They're all
So-
CG. That's easy to
That's
do.
which
And
is
yeah, it's
easy,
easy to
just,
swap out.
Yeah.
So it's like for us to watch the other one, we have to go to like Calgary or something, or they have to come up to see our version or whatever, right? Right.
Yeah,
That-
distributing would be a nightmare, but otherwise,
yeah, distribution is the
solid. That's why I say, like, if it's different regions, like if we got one and the
In
UK
Canada.
got one,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Or in Asia, there's like Farfetch. Farfetch doesn't show up in our movie, but if you go to Japan, it
Yeah.
shows up in there, but they don't get see Tauros. Kind of thing.
because they did that with.
Zootopia.
I was just gonna say Zootopia.
Zootopia did that.
They did that in Inside Out too. Instead of
Oh,
broccoli, she has
yeah.
something else in her Brussels
Oh.
sprouts.
Brussels sprouts.
And
But I
instead
think-
of hockey, she's playing soccer
Yeah.
in certain countries.
Oh.
But I
What did
think
they do
that-
in Zootopia?
Peter Mansbridge's character is.
We
not
were
the
we were a
moose.
ca- we were a moose here.
Oh.
In China, it was a panda,
Yeah.
and I think somewhere else it was another. There was like
I
three
didn't
or
know
yeah,
four.
they did that.
three or
I
four
didn't
things.
know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there
It's
was-
easy enough to do when it's digital animation,
Yeah.
especially
Yeah.
nowadays because they can animate a scene in less than a week.
Yeah.
Whereas before it's like, this movie needs 2 years to stew. And I hope it all works out.
Yeah, because they've been working on Detective Pikachu for quite some time.
Yeah.
Like, they've been trying to perfect it, and hard work pays off. Like, it looks really good.
Looks great.
Again, you can tell people who made this movie, whether it's the designers or this or that or any, actually give a crap.
Right.
Yeah.
And even, not even just the designers, but the story writers, too.
But that's what I mean,
It's trying to weave this story in with the rest of the Pokemon mythos and all the universes that they've done built. Because even though there's 800 plus Pokemon, I'm pretty sure I only saw about 80.
Sure.
Like they picked and choose. Like, we could totally do this. We could totally do this one. Like, Machamp's easy to do, sure. Snorlax, easy to do. Like, and it's not just from Generation 1 either. They've got ones from...
Yeah, they're from
they've
from
got
all
one
over.
from, like...
They made sure they got the 3 original starters in at some point in the movie,
There
I
are.
think, just to
There
appease
are.
everybody.
Yeah.
There are.
Yeah.
Some of them don't... Some of the designs don't work.
No?
Totodile looks like he's from hell.
Oh, well.
Like, but thankfully he's only in there for, like, a screenshot.
Oh, okay.
So he's not actually animated, but, like, he looked like a creature from hell.
To be fair, he kind of does.
He's a
Then it
crocodile.
goes- yeah.
A little mini crocodile. So I don't know if they did it accurately or it's just terrifying.
What's his original sprite? I'm trying to think now.
I'm trying to think what else was like solid. Oh, so my only, and I know this is just like a fan gripe, but like I said, there's no Pokeballs in this movie other than the original scene, like the first scene. It shows Tim and his like childhood friend. They're like getting back together in Leaving Town.
Like, kind of.
Oh, it's worse in the movie.
I'm okay with that, because
It's worse in the movie. That's cute as shit. It's worse in the movie.
he's sort of cute, but I can see how you can turn that into a hellspawn very easily.
More spikes. More spikes.
More spikes, indent the eye a bit.
Yeah, more spikes.
Yeah, done.
The intro scene is him trying to because Tim has never had a partner Pokemon in his entire life, and so his friend's trying to convince him to catch a partner Pokemon, and the first thing he pulls out is a Pokeball, and I know it's the dumbest like issue, but it doesn't go from small to big. It's just the ball.
This is the ball.
It's just the ball, and he pushes the button, and it's ready to throw.
All right.
Like, it doesn't do the thing. And I'm like, oh, I guess that'd be too expensive to do for like everyone who has a partner Pokemon. That would be, I guess, I'll concede to that. Yeah, no, that movie is freaking awesome. Like, and no post-credit scene. So just once you finish the first like mid-credit stuff, like because they've animated the
No
credits.
crazy
Yeah.
credits.
So who is this with again? Like which production company?
Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers. Okay.
Warner Brothers.
The same people that made the other movie that shouldn't have started with all the Harry Potter stuff. It should have been Wizarding World. Like, this is Pokemon.
Oh,
Pokemon
yeah.
Detective Pikachu.
Yeah.
The next one could be Pokemon.
Who gives a jump?
Yeah, anything.
Yeah.
Do the GameCube games.
Oh, yeah.
Those XD Gale
Gale
of
of
Darkness. Pokemon Gale of Darkness. You know how many people would be there if they knew that Lugia was going to be in the movie? Like everyone would really be there. Like, Lugia is one of the fan favorites.
Yeah, because it's not like they can't do those single-player stories. Like, I don't want to watch a movie where a guy goes from gym to gym
I
and
know,
takes
right?
on the master. Like,
Yeah, that would be a little bit boring.
But they could have a guy take on, like, that's your opening scene is he's taking on the last champ.
Yeah.
Becomes champion, and then they're like, we need
Or
your help.
and then like the camera pans out and it's just like a TV show.
Or
they're
that,
watching the
yeah.
battle.
But, like, we need your help, champion, to go and do this, and all of a sudden there's something that has to... Like, they need an adventure.
Yeah.
It can't just be the Pokemon game
Right.
adventure.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
Gale of Darkness was...
Would be a great idea. Do it, Pokemon. Like,
Go
you know
see
this.
your mother.
You know this movie's gonna make a shit ton of money. Go do it.
Yeah.
Like, they're already planning to like 2 or 3 of them, right? So.
Well, and now you've got the architecture for the animation down.
Yeah, which
Right.
is great.
And you just
That
have
was
to-
my worst fear before any of these trailers came out.
No,
was
the animation's
they did
so
it great.
good, so
They did
good.
it great.
And
Like the fuzzy Pokemons, like once you get past that, it actually looks really good. Psyduck's a little bit fuzzy. Jigglypuff, obviously,
Yep.
a little bit fuzzy.
okay, as soon as I saw Jigglypuff, I went,
That's good.
that's accurate. I'm
I
okay
love
with it.
I love the one-liners that Ryan Reynolds would throw out I would say about 70% of this movie is Ryan Reynolds throwing off one-liners and no one reacting to it because A, no one hears him.
Yep.
And Tim, the only person that can hear him, wants to ignore him. So it's just like him just spouting off dumb little one-liners. And he can talk to Pokemon still, so it's...
And that's what Pokemon are doing the entire time. Whenever they're saying stuff, you're like, oh, you're so cute. And they're like, yeah, and you're, you know, you look like you just crawled out of a toilet.
I gotta show
There's a tree.
I gotta show you a Pros GD video about that, actually. You bring that up. Yeah, everyone should go watch this movie. It's so much fun. And I feel like the next time I watch this film, I'm bringing a notepad in and being like, okay, that's that Pokemon. Okay, oh yeah, that's that Pokemon.
Who's that Pokemon?
Like, just, it's like, stop it! Like, there's like a field of Pokemon. I'm trying to like write down like who's in this movie.
Pause the movie!
Like they
Tony buys all the tickets and then talks to the guy running the projector.
So much fun. That movie is so much. It's so good. Yeah. I want to say that it's their own original Detective Pikachu story, even though they pulled it from the 3DS one. I've never played the 3DS one. It does. The ending does go into like a weird like I didn't realize this could happen with these Pokemon.
Yep.
It does that piece, but once you get past that and it resolves itself, it's like, okay, cool, that's fine.
Sorry,
Bye, Google.
Bye. So yeah, that's what have been up to.
Nice.
Also, just playing Dragalia Lost, because that's still a great, fun off game. Like you can just turn the brain off and tap. What can I say?
Ah, good old tapping games.
Yep.
Tappity tap 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 tap.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Thanks for joining us today on the post-credit show.
Press the likes buttons and the
Smash
subscribes
it!
buttons.
Smash it! Smash!
Press them all.
Smash, brother! Everyone is here.
Then go to barrelrollnews.com, barrelrollnews.com, barrelrollnews.com to find all of our social
Joaquin
media
Philip, Warren
links.
Felling 2 man. Joaquin Philip, Warren Felling 2 man. Joaquin Philip, Warren Felling 2 man.
Find all our social media links, including our Discord and all of that lovely stuff. Thanks for watching. We'll be back next week.
Bye.
Bye.